Brenda Nicolas, and the event right now that is happening is for San Jerónimo China. It's más que nada un event or kermés for Dia de los Muertos and fundraise money for Dia de los Muertos. And I guess it came about with, we went late May or starting June to the Party of the Pueblo, you know, the patron saint. And so we went and then to celebrate. And so when we came back, what they do is that they usually do something here too for the people that couldn't go to China, to the Pueblo. And so it's kind of late that they're doing it until now in November, because they were supposed to be done in September or right after they come back in June. But yeah, so we're doing it, and because they had one about more than a month ago, but that was the puso la banda with the danza de los negritos together, and then lo que lo están poniendo ahorita is the unión de Sochina, so like the comité is the one that's putting it on right now. And so yeah, so like we didn't do anything for like after we came back from the pueblo. They did it instead now for Dia de los Muertos.
So can you tell me a little bit about how does the Oaxaqueño community practice Dia de los Muertos?
Honestly, this is the first time that I remember that they're doing it. And I mean, they have the altar, I guess, at the Cempasúchil. I don't know si tienen cresta de gallo, but I mean, el santo que es San Jerónimo, right? The saint of the pueblo. And that I saw they have another lady there on the altar, which is the mom of the president de la Unión. No?
Could you tell me a little bit about who were the folks that organized or that decorated the altar?
I don't know.
It was more the Unión?
I think it was the Unión because they're putting it together. So, yeah, but I mean, everybody helps. When whoever's doing the party, if it's the Unión or if it's the banda or the danzantes, you're always supposed to help, and it's like always not.
So this is a community altar?
Yeah, community.
And so how did you guys decide to get this location? You know, when you're thinking that when they're like kermeses are the fundraising efforts for a community, why here and why not at a person's home?
I guess because we used to do it at a person's home all the time, and he sold the house, so that was like where all the pueblos used to go to do their parties too. And this is actually the fabrica of one of the guys from Cochina. So he opens it up for us, and you know, as long as it meets the requirements or whatever of the fire department. And so yeah, we just have it here in Sam because it's bigger.
Right, and I bring that up as a point just to kind of think about, yeah, it's a much more ample location for communities to have the festivities, and it's like a little more accessible for parking, and so to kind of think about how the different modifications have taken place out of necessity,
yeah,
in order to continue having these particular traditional practices.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cheaper, and I mean, in terms of like making people, you know, no one lives here, so we don't have to bug anyone, pretty much. Just keep it clean and, you know, whatnot, but...
So I saw you dancing earlier. Could you tell me a little bit about the danza and your participation as a woman dancer?
Okay, so the danza, it's the first time that the women are doing it because it's a male dance.
And
so
it's called what?
Los Negritos. So it's actually supposed to be 8 of us, but there was a lot of other women. And it was like they wanted to get the young ones or whatever, but there was other people that wanted to dance it too from the pueblo, because it's only mujeres from the pueblo de China, no? And so it ended up being 12 instead of the 8. So yeah, that's how it came about. And actually, another pueblo, El Alto, had already performed it as mujeres, no? And then 2 weeks later, this girl called Claudia Lopez, and she's like, "Oh, you guys want to like do it? Let's do it." You know, this and she started calling people, and yeah, that's how it got organized. And we're like, she said, we could dance for the Fiesta del Pueblo. And like faltaba by that time like a year and a half or so.
When you say Fiesta del Pueblo, was it the Fiesta del Pueblo here in Los Angeles, or did you guys travel? Did you ladies travel to Oaxaca?
We traveled in Oaxaca, so yeah, it was más que nada for the pueblo, and because we always the way China works, we always put the danzas and then we take them back to the pueblo, no, and then afterwards we bring it back and we dance for the ones that couldn't go dance it here in LA. And so that's how it came about, and yeah, and we came back and they asked us to dance again. They had already danced for the ones in LA here, and then they asked us to dance again today, and so.
And what is the significance of the Danza de los Negritos?
Well, I know there's like a lot of stories. So I know one of them is that it's gonna be like they had slaves in the Americas, right? So I guess like New Mexico back then was Spain, and so los slaves used to dance it as a form of as a ceremony. But then I've also heard que también lo bailaban as entertainment for themselves. So I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard those two,
Origins.
yeah, origins. And so, and I mean, they wear the máscaras, negras, and I mean, I know that's kind of controversial, but
What does it mean for you to dance in this traditionally male-dominated dance?
I think it's good because, well, for me, I'm seeing like this transition from, like, gender-wise, right? I guess like women are being in a predominantly male dance. Women are starting to like kind of take over, and I guess I could compare it with the band because it used to be all males, and women started joining as second generation for the most part, women here.
Right.
And so like you see that like how women are participating more. So I mean that's pretty good. And we wanted to keep it, I guess, as traditional as we could. And I remember that one time we were saying like, oh, okay, let's try to keep it as traditional as we can and this and that. And so we had 3 instructors, but one of them was the main one that danced it 30, 40 years ago. And so one of them said, if you guys want to do it traditional, you guys already changed it because it's women and it's supposed to be men, so there's nothing traditional about it anymore. And so I was just like, oh man. And so I was like, damn. And so I didn't say anything, and we were just like, oh well, we're gonna keep it as traditional as we can. Yeah, it's fun, but other than that, it's gonna stay the same. But
And
yeah,
you're like, no. So how was it that you guys all organized to get the dance, to get to go participate in your community in Xochina this summer, right?
How did we organize it?
Yeah, how did you guys get together? Was the community helped you all to fundraise to get the group of mujeres, or was that all self-financed?
So the way it worked with Xochina was that we got, so we all organized once we were all like 8, or for this one it was 12 of us. Listen, yeah. So once it was like pretty much 12 of us, we had to go to our parents, the older parents of the ones that participated, told us that we had to go and agarrar permiso de la Unión. So we did that during the Asamblea de la Unión in the meeting, and we asked for permission, and they said yes, go ahead, and give us a blessing, and so then that's when we started practicing. And so after that, we practiced every Sunday for the first 2 months or a month and a half, and then we were like, we need to practice more because you're gonna pay. And so we started practicing twice a week, Sunday and Wednesdays, for 3 hours each time, and so yeah. And we were there, and yeah, so we started, and then we would also practice for fundraisers. But this isn't actually the president's house. That sometimes we do parties there, but since this one was welcome the rest of the people from the Sierra, like Ocho,
right?
That's why we did it here. But when it's smaller, just like us, a convivencia, the China, we do it in the president, or whoever the president is, we do it in his house.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Can you tell us where are you right now in terms of your education and career?
Sure. So right now I just started my PhD in Chicano Studies at UCLA, and so yeah, I'm nervous.
No, it's great.